Hey, Fi fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Mark Prince. Mark, it's nice to see you. Randomly seeing you and the missus here. This is nice.
Yeah, all the time. That's my partner, my best friend. She travels with me. She's my gatekeeper.
I mean, look, she's taking over right now as we do this interview.
Yeah, she's loving it. She loves all of that.
How are you, though? How is things? I mean, literally the last time I saw you guys was at Bedsa, like a week before lockdown happened.
Oh, man. Gosh, you're taking me back to great memories now, a week before lockdown. Yeah, a lot's been going on. We've been doing really good stuff with the Kind Prince Foundation. We've done some business with the biggest digital company in the world, really, EA Sports. And they've got Cayenne into the TIFO, into the game, FIFA. So that was awesome. So we're getting a lot of messages from young people all over the world now, talking about how they're inspired, motivated by myself and what I've done with the Kind Prince Foundation. So it's really lovely, just taking this thing global to another level with the Kind Prince Foundation. And we're getting it's amazing how we've had a letter from someone in prison just giving £5 towards the charity. It's incredible, the stuff that's going on. And just from young people saying, I don't get much pocket money, but I want to give to the Kind Prince Foundation. It's fantastic.
Tell me a bit about the foundation for people who might be hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, well, my son was stabbed in 2006 right outside his school as he was trying to defend a kid and stop a fight from happening. And then since then, we've just focused on inspiring young people, motivating them, helping them to understand life, understand how to utilize life skills, and how there's a better way than being out on the street, crime, and all the avenues that young people tend to take. And they're trying to find a shortcut route to making money, when really the only route is hard work, focus, discipline. And that's what we give in our programs, that's what we talk about in our motivational talks. And we help young people, inspire them to realize that they all have purpose, they all have talent, and to utilize that to make their community a better place and their family and their lives.
And where can they go to donate?
You can go on www.thekpf.com. So we're really grateful for all those that have been giving and really helping out, because I think this is not a problem that can just disappear. People often ask, what's the problem? Why is it getting like this? But there's so many different reasons to why we're at this place of young people doing what they're doing. So all we can do is have the solution and deliver it.
And through the organization, what specifically are you guys working on to sort of, motivate the children to do, or move in a more positive direction and not end up on the streets?
Our system is a life coaching system, because I recognize that, as a young boy coming up, a lot of these young guys don't have male father figures, they don't have role models. So we take that place for them and we get them to realize that here's a system that will teach you that there's a blueprint for success. And that blueprint is developing character. And a lot of young people just think it's getting money, it's having money by any means necessary. And when you add value to your life, then you add value to everything else around you. And we trying to help those young people to add value to their lives by building character, using their skills. We use boxing as a tool to develop their skills in discipline and all the different areas. We use life coaching and emotional intelligence to help them to recognize that they can goal set, because this is a tool that most successful people use. It's about how to goal set, how to reach goals. Once you reach that, you set a new goal, because life's all about achieving. One thing you achieve and then you've done that, you feel great, you want to go on to your next goal. It's never about retiring, it's always about achieving and doing more and utilizing your skills and just enjoying life. It seems like young people aren't really enjoying life and enjoying seeing other young people. They want to rob other young people, they want to utilize and use younger kids to go out and sell drugs and do all this negative stuff. So once they find that there's a future for them, I think that what happens is that they start going in that direction. Because it's not something that you really want to do. Who really wants to be out there selling drugs, stabbing people and hurting people? So the majority of them don't. They just need guidance and help because they've gone through a lot in their lives.
Plus, they're also victims of their circumstances and their environment.
And their environment, that's correct. So, I'm the model to show them that I was in this environment. You want difficulty? I've had difficulty. I had problems at home, then I ran away from home, I was on the streets, and it's almost like, here's the model, there's the way out. So despite any adversity, you can make your way through, and I became #1 in the world, fought for a world title, coming from that background. So they can do the same thing, there's hope.
Especially right now during, the lockdown, it seems like a lot of people are sort of getting stir crazy. A lot of people are getting involved in things they probably shouldn't be getting involved in. Have you found it to be quite challenging with your organization during this time?
I find that there's a lot more mental health issues with people in general of all ages through this time. A lot of people's families are under pressure. And when there's the men and the women in families that are supposed to be bringing in the money and there's financial problems, you'll find everything starts breaking down. So I think it's more focused on trying to inspire people to get through these eras where they're being tested. Characters are really being tested, marriages are being tested, families are being tested. And I think that we can grow, instead of breaking down through this period, we can actually become better people through these tough times. And that's what I'm always focused on, becoming better through tough times instead of becoming worse and becoming bitter and becoming angry.
During this whole, pandemic, what's been the silver lining for you?
One of the silver linings been how KPF still managed to grow. I'm all about reaching out to more young people, and it was about finding another way to reach them. So being online, doing Motivational Mondays, doing Workshop Wednesdays was great. Also having the Kind Prince Foundation build still, with we getting another year of the naming rights, and QPR's agreed to that, so that was wonderful. So it's still going to be called Kind Prince Foundation Stadium for another year. That's great news for us. And just working with EA Sports is wonderful. And I've got, What's His Space? We've got a wonderful team of people that we're working with now, working with Red Cow PR agency. So I think there's a lot more exciting things to come. And instead of us focusing on the negatives of COVID and the stress that it brings, I think we should focus on, okay, we got more time with the family. Let's really get to know each other well. Let's spend some time with each other. And as difficult as it is, it forces us to face the things that we can normally escape with all the freedom that we have.
No, I agree. I kept saying the silver lining for me was being able to spend 5 months with my family, and I haven't seen them that much in nearly 10 years.
That's awesome. Look, I lost the most wonderful person on this planet, my mum. My warrior spirit comes from my mum on the 4th of July. My mum went to sleep in my arms, and that was devastating for me. But even that, as broken-hearted and as devastated as I am through that process, I recognize there is more lessons to learn to help me in my life, to help me to share with others and inspire them and help them. And I realize that we can learn so much from death. And it's something we avoid, we don't want to talk about. My mum used to say, son, if anything happens to me, and as soon as I heard that, I didn't want to hear anymore. Go upstairs, look at this envelope. And I know, Mum, you've got plenty of time. But I realised tomorrow isn't promised us. Let's spend each time with the people that we're around, whether they're strangers that we meet for a moment or family members that we're with. Let's imagine treating people as if that was the last time you were going to be with them. That would be such a wonderful time that you'd have. So that's really the way you want to live your life, is the way you treat people if you knew that was the last time you were going to be with them. Yeah. And we'd have that such a special moment. So let's treat everybody in that way. So I learned that from this whole thing with my mum passing, and I just think my mum was so honourable and special. She's got such a wonderful legacy she's left, like my son left me. So I just want to continue that legacy with forgiveness and love and treating people in each moment, being present and enjoying that person, whether I'm listening or I'm speaking.
It's sort of like, and I know I don't want this to sound wrong, it's sort of like a blessing in disguise for many, because I have heard so many people repeat that by saying, live in the moment and appreciate what you have, because we got to see just how quickly the world changed on us.
Wow. Just like that.
We were all out one night, and the next thing you know, boom, it was taken from us.
Yeah, and it seems like people are faceless now. Touching is a no-no. I see people walking around me I don't really personally wear masks myself because I'm exempt. I get panic attacks and stuff like that when I cover my face. But I see how difficult it is, all of these changes. And it isn't nice because I think that what connects us as human beings and separates us from everything else that was created is that we got this choice. We have a mind that we could choose how to deal with people. And I just think with all this COVID stuff going on, it's really separating people. We're living at a time where we need to come together and be more united. And COVID is just really, making everybody just find their own space and stay there. And I think that's going to have a big negative impact on humanity as well.
Yeah, I worry for the kids more than anything because socially that's where they learn in school, and they don't find that at home. You don't want them to be socially introverted. You want them to not be afraid to meet people and talk to people. Yeah, get to know new people. But you know what? The pandemic has also done a number on boxing, as you know. Only until recently we've been able to sort of have some matchups to talk about. But I do want to ask you about some of the matchups that we are aware of and get your thoughts on them. One of the hot topics at the moment happens to be the exhibition fight between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. What do you make of them fighting in this exhibition fight, but also at their age?
Look, what can I say? These guys, they're legends of the game. Don't matter how much we know that they've moved on and they're old. I know Mike's in good condition. I don't know much about Roy. He looks like he's in great condition. But as we see in the last few fights he's had, those knockdowns obviously don't go away. They damage you for life. So we don't really want to see him in the ring. And we know Mike's a pretty serious guy. He don't hold back in throwing no punches. So it might not be wise picking Mike as an exhibition fight unless they both agree that we ain't going to throw no knockout punches. Roy's still got his speed. Mike's still got speed and power. I don't think Roy's power is going to really interfere with Mike, but I definitely know Mike's power can interfere with Roy. So it's always interesting because as fight fans, we love to see names coming together, but I care more about the individuals than anything else. And, I think that they can add more to do with other areas than actually getting back fighting. They've done that, seen it, we've done it, seen it, and guys, you've got other skills that you can add value to the community, so keep doing that, I would say. But if you wish to go and fight, go for it, man.
And who wins that fight?
Mike Tyson all day long. Yeah. All day long.
Another heavyweight fight that we do know is supposed to happen by the end of this year is going to be with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. The Trilogy, how do you see that going down?
What's the point? Why are we watching the Trilogy? Has Wilder done anything to earn a trilogy? Usually when we watch trilogies, it's because we're excited at the prospect of either one winning. How are we excited at the prospect of Wilder winning? What, just because he can punch and we're going to hope that he's going to come in with a punch? That's not really, that's not really equal balance. We want to see a competitive fight. In the first fight, Fury won, hands down. He got robbed, they gave him a draw. In the second fight, he demonstrated that even more by just obliterating Wilder, one-sided. So how do you get a trilogy? What's it all about? If it's all about money and putting bums on seats, well, we're not going to have bums on seats, we're going to have views. So, okay, so they made it clear that it's about that, and that's what's most important. But there's other fighters waiting in line. Give Dylan Whyte a chance to go out there and fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Why are you giving Wilder another chance? He's had
I think it's just because of the contract. It indicates that because he was the WBC champion, that he does have the right to have that rematch.
Can he have 10 fights then? Can he have 5? How long does it go on for?
Yeah, I think it'll end at this one. But nonetheless, contractually speaking, that is why we're getting the third. However, there is a chance, so I'm hearing, that there may not be that fight by the end of this year. So
I really do. I hope not. How much more embarrassing can you get beaten up? How much more? If I was Wilder, obviously the money's made him come back in. But if I was Wilder, I'd say, nah, I don't need that fight. I need to get myself back, training, figure out what I need to do to be at the top level. Because at the top level, you can't avoid all the top level fighters now. Can't avoid Fury, can't avoid Whyte, can't avoid AJ, can't avoid anybody that can fight now at the top. And I think anyone worth their weight in gold that knows how to move and knows how to exploit Wilder's lack of footwork, lack of boxing acumen, then I know I've won this anyway. You know, anyone that's got the skills to be able to avoid his punches, they've seen the blueprint from Fury. I know they can't always fight like Fury, but once you take away Wilder's right hand, he's got nothing.
This weekend we have Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. How does that go?
Yeah, that's good. I think that's a good fight for Dylan. Keeps him busy with a fighter that's still quite rated up there. And I can see Wilder, I can see Whyte taking care of business. Just staying focused. Don't get into nothing with this guy. You know, Whyte can box. You got a good jab on him. He can box. Just break Povetkin down. After 3-4 rounds, Povetkin's boring, comes in, does the same thing, got one left hook, and I know Whyte has as well, but he's got more to his game than Povetkin, and Povetkin's at the end of the road. You know, Whyte's right there in the middle. You know, he's got a lot more in him, and I can see him putting pressure on him from round 6, 8 onwards, and just breaking him down, and him getting taken out of the fight by round 10.
Well, we'll see what happens. I know that the winner of this fight will go on to become the mandatory for the winner of Fury Wilder 3. So
awesome. I hope so, man. We want to see it moving on. This Wilder thing is just spoiling the game for the other fighters. Yeah, they're all due their own chance to be able to fight for the WBC.
All right, Mark, I'm going to let you go eat. It's lunchtime. Nice to get a break from all of this.
Fish all day long. I'm called Fisherman's Friend. I'm the man.
Wait, your team is called Team Boxing. Team Boxing. All right, well, I wish...
Knocking out fish all day long.
For the sake of it being called Team Boxing, I am rooting for you guys.
Beautiful. We love that, man.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, it's nice speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Fight fans. Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time we upload a new video. And we also have a free app available on iTunes and Google Play. So make sure you go and download that. Bye, Fight fans.